Hi, Chris Ford here from chrisandjennyford.com with part 7 of our Internet Basics course. So how do you go about registering a domain name? Well, to register a domain name you need to use a domain registrar, and these are companies like GoDaddy, Name.com, Riptoit Domains, or your hosting company. Often they will provide registrar services as well. What you do is you go to the website, choose a domain name that's not currently been registered, fill in the forms, make your payment, and there you go, you now own that domain. Most of the sites provide the ability to search and find a domain. If your first choice isn't available, they will suggest other similar choices. Now when it comes to registering a domain, you can register them for between 1 to 10 years. Now traditionally I've just registered them for 1 year. However, there is a belief that Google will penalize sites that have only been registered for 1 year. They actually have a patent that talks about identifying spam sites, and they talk about domain name registration period as being one of the things they use to identify what is a spam site. If I'm just going to throw up a site and use it for a short period of time and then burn it, I would only register my domain for 1 year. If I intend to actually build a business, then the belief as written in that patent is that you would commit to that domain for multiple years. So now what I've started doing and starting to think about doing is to register domains for probably 2 or 3 years at a time. Most of the domains I'm registering I am committed to, so there's really no issue doing that. It is only $10 a year, so it's not a huge amount to outlay. And now what I'll do is I'll go through an example of registering the trampolinesnow.com domain, and you'll see the steps we go through to do that. And then here we are at the Riptoit Domains site, and so I'm just going to type in the name of the site that I want, so the main keyword. Now it's very likely that trampolines.com has been taken, and we can see here at the top that indeed it has been taken. But what we can do now is look for a similar domain name that contains the keyword trampolines. Now there's 2 ways we can do that. We can use the search function inside the Riptoit Domains site and search for domain names, or if we scroll down a little further we can see that it suggests some names already that are available, and we can see here trampolinesnow.com is available. That's not too bad, I like that one. So I'll click on that and hit the continue button to go through, and then I need to put in my registration information. Now I already have an account here, so it's already filled out my information, but if you don't have an account, then you click on you'd like to create a new account and fill in all your information. Now one thing this site does is it suggests lots of options to you as you go through, so just make sure if you don't want to spend any extra money you have all of those unticked. So we'll continue through from there, and then here is the domain we want to order in the shopping cart. Now it suggests 2 years by default. I typically register them for 1 year. Really up to you what you want to do there. And then scrolling further down, we want to say no thanks, we don't want any of the extra options, and then press continue to go through. And then here we are in the shopping cart, and we can see that we've got Trampolines Now registered for 1 year, and if I just scroll over slightly, you see here $9.99 plus there's a 20-cent fee that has to be paid to the organization that manages domain names as well. And then we'll come down, select our payment method by credit card. You can have a credit card already registered, you can pay by PayPal, tick that you've read the terms and conditions, and then hit the checkout button, and that will then register the domain name. So there you go, that's how you go about registering a domain, and now we'll go on to the next part.